Welcome back to the Course Creator Academy podcast, where we help creators like beginners and intermediate learners learn how to expand in the field of videography, or simply if you are someone that's a goal chaser or ambitious leader in this field, this podcast can impact you today. We found an individual named Ben, straight out of the UK, where he can teach you a lot of videography game. Actually, he has a lot of success in the videography field at profiting at $500,000 net, and give us an opportunity to know who you are and your insight.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me on. My name is Ben Lawton. I kind of went into the videography game early 2017. I basically found a guy on YouTube called Casey Neistat, who you guys may or may not know. He did a lot of vlogs over in New York. Became incredibly inspired for the first time in my life. I did terribly at school because I was basically uninspired by shitty teachers and all these other things. Found videography through Casey, and I was like, this sounds all right. This sounds quite fun. So then I fucking dived into that. I remember I stayed up all night watching his YouTube vlogs, and as soon as the camera shop opened at 6 a.m. that day, I drove to the camera shop to buy a Canon. Started running like Casey as well, and started to, fall in love with the world of, I guess, filmmaking and storytelling on a very hobbyist kind of level at the time. I then went and approached I've always had big aspirations, big dreams. I approached a guy who I knew from school who had some experience in videography. And I was like, hey man, I want to pay you like 250 quid to come to South France with me and just film like a car commercial. And he was like, well, you haven't got a nice car. What are you going to do? I was like, I'll find the fucking car. And anyway, that conversation like expanded and expanded and expanded. And I quickly realized that Dan had a lot of strengths that were my weaknesses and vice versa. So we actually thought, hold on a minute, why don't we just start a video company here? And so we did. And over the course of 7 years, we scaled that to, the last year we had was 500K. We had a couple of 100K months in there with some big projects that we did. We had a team of 5, huge office, Cyclorama, Infinity Cove, Red cameras. We were basically running on Canon for everything. We did docuseries, documentaries, commercials, TV, social media, anything you can kind of think of, we did it. We touched it. And then when I turned 30, had a kid, got married all in the space of the same year, I kind of had like a third or quarter life crisis. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? Around the same sort of time, I was kind of experimenting a lot more spirituality. I found God, or as at least as I say to my wife, I'm still finding him, but I'm searching. And that led me to actually sell my agency, fully exit out of the agency. And now I coach videographers full time. A, to obviously help them have successful companies, but B, help them to be satisfied, fulfilled, and happy with the agencies that they run. That's basically my nutshell.
Okay. If you were to summarize one key thing that you can already out the bat give a videographer right now and saying, you need to improve this, what would it be? Right out the bat. The pressure is high, y'all.
Oh, there's a lot of things. If I was just to choose one, probably mindset.
Okay.
Mindset. Everything comes back to mindset. Even if you're shit at videography or you don't understand marketing, you don't understand lead flow, if you just have overwhelming self-belief, you will make it work. Very similar to how Kanye West walked into every single record label and was like, play my shit. And eventually someone heard it.
Okay. So let's go a little bit deeper into mindset. How can someone develop the mindset that don't already have the mindset? Because you have those people, they always say you have like the Kobe's where, let's say if I want to go against Kobe, I would have to grind my behind off to even get close to understand, to get on Kobe's level. Mm-hmm. But Kobe don't have to work as hard as me to be better than me. So Tim, let's talk deeper about that, about how can someone become or have a better mindset?
Really good question. I don't think I have all the answers. I can only really share from experience. I don't think for me, I've ever like truly suffered with mindset being the biggest factor. And when I started coaching, I've coached 45 videographers now in the last year. It's only now become apparent to me after coaching so many, what the underlying pattern and cause of not succeeding is. I never had that issue. I guess I had other demons, but that seems to be the common formality across many videographers and many creatives, is that constant comparison to other creatives and how well they're doing rather than just focusing on their own shit. Self-sabotage, just getting in their own way, not focusing on their own stuff. There's an amalgamation of things, I think. I remember when I was like 21 and I hadn't even become an entrepreneur, and I was like, man, how do these people work so hard, right? Like, I'm not working that hard. I was a lazy piece of shit when I was 21. How are they working so hard? Like, how do I just wake up one day and work hard And, you know, you'd watch like one of those motivational videos in YouTube at like 3 in the morning. And you're like, fuck it, man. I'm going to get up tomorrow. I'm going to be motivated. And you have a couple of days of being motivated and hardworking and it falls off. And what I've come to realize over the last decade really is that it's it's a muscle. You don't just wake up and you're working harder than fucking Dwayne Johnson and getting up at 3 a.m. training every day. It's a muscle where every day you're getting a little bit better. And now the 31-year-old version of me would run laps around 21-year-old version of me because I've built 10 years on that muscle. But it's not like you don't just wake up and become a savage. It takes time to build the savageness or the savagery.
Exactly.
No, I'm actually glad you said that because we've been having a lot of those conversations around here, or at least I have personally, where we have to remind ourselves that it's not just about getting started and then thinking that this is going to be the end all be all. It's going to happen overnight success. This is years. People, you're looking at the end goal of people who's been working for years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in the field and doing the same thing, repetition over and over. So that's a good point.
Yeah, it's repetition is pointless without feedback, right? Like if you're going to, it's like trying to grow on social media, the idea of like, oh, just post every day and your wildest dreams will come true. That only works if you take the feedback and iterate every time. Right. So like dude, I've spoken to so many DPs who have been in the game for 20, 30 years. And I tell them I have clients who are doing 30, 40K months and they just wholeheartedly don't believe me. And I can show them receipts. I can show them proof. They don't want to hear it because they've built this identity around what is and what isn't possible for themselves within the industry. And unfortunately, that's why I say mindset is the most critical factor. If you don't believe it's going to be possible for you, I can guarantee it won't be.
Mm-hmm.
So reading books every day, all day is not the answer, what you would say?
I've probably read like 6 books in my life.
Okay.
And I'd find it, I'd love to fucking come on this podcast and say, yeah, man, I read every day. Fucking, I don't. I've got like get recommended books. I try them out. If I love them, I read them. If I don't, I put them down pretty quick. I like a podcast and audiobooks. Some great books I have read and I recommend to everyone is Dollars Flow to Me Easily. That's a book about not so much realizing that you already have enough. And this scarcity mindset around money is actually causing you to have less money overall. Really recommend that book. Anyone who's struggling with finances. And the next one will be 10X is easier than 2X, Benjamin Hardy. That's a absolute killer book. It's just like it helps you focus on if you want to grow a successful business or do anything 10x in your life, you have to choose one path and go relentlessly at it. They've been some big eye openers for me. Big eye openers for me. You guys read books?
Yeah, I'm growing in the field of reading books.
It's a muscle.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's time consuming a little bit.
You have to really put your mindset to that because I've not been a reader since I was a little boy, and I've always like I've been smart, but I've not been a reader. So I'm like, no, I don't personally read, but JB, that's where he comes in because he'll always tell me the things and the lessons he learned in the books that he's read. So it's like it's a great partnership in that sense too, more than just videography. We're actually learning, life lessons from each other.
The value shared. Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So do you have partners and things like that to this day, Ben?
No, not since I started my coaching company. I started that. I own 100% of the company. Well, my wife she owns half the company too, but she's pretty much like a dormant director. It just makes sense for tax purposes, really.
So tell us a lot more about the program that you have and give us some transformations that you've seen in this coaching field so far.
Sure. So the simplistically is I give videographers a business in a box. So I teach them how to automate lead flow consistently forever with ads. Ads are the missing link for every videographer, in my opinion, and I will die on that hill. Simply because out of all the marketing channels you can be doing in the world, ads are the one that synergizes with content creation the best. Like when you look at the Andromeda update, you look at any sort of meta update when it comes to ads, meta is just rewarding more and more high quality, consistent creative. Show me another industry on the planet that can make consistent, good looking content. It's videographers, right? It's literally meta ads are designed for you more so than Premiere Pro is. So the idea of doing cold DMs, cold outreach, fucking LinkedIn, cold calling, any of this bullshit, it pales in comparison to how effective you can make advertising. And it's automated. So that's the first thing we fix. Then it comes down to the second thing that all videographers think they have a lead issue. They don't. You can solve lead issue overnight with ads. The most important metric here is sales. how do you actually convert the leads into high ticket retainers? That's when we do sales trainings, high ticket sales trainings, and then stack retainers. Those are the two most important metrics to make money, a lot of money. The third thing, how do we keep hold of those retainers? How do we keep hold of that money? We stack retainers and we actually get results for the clients using the skills that we now have in ads, content creation, and sales to do the same thing for businesses in their local area. And that's really how you scale a video business to. I've got clients who have done 50K a month, 40K a month, 30K a month, 10K a month, 20K a month. I've had like out of the 45, I think we've had 12 people leave their 9-to-5s in the space of 12 months. It's been wildly successful without sounding too arrogant. And if I'm being honest, it's nothing, I haven't reinvented the wheel. I'm just going back to business basics and giving people what they need. Everyone is so shocked when they go through the program, how simplistic it is, because maybe they've gone through other programs before and there's every single fucking marketing strategy under the sun in there. And the only thing that does, it just causes confusion. It's like, well, which one do I do? Like, it just gives someone a very clear path on how to go from where they are to 20K a month. And that's literally what we deliver inside a 6-month coaching one-on-one retainer.
And there it is, people. There it is. So let me ask you a few questions. Let me ask you a few questions about some of the things you said, because I actually saw one of your Instagram posts that actually intrigued us to reach out. And I think it was in the lines of, if you're just offering your clients a videography package or, hey, I come shoot, that's no longer a thing anymore. Let's talk about that, to where it's like, I wouldn't say it's not a thing, but you're not going to succeed. Let's say it like that, or you're not going to
We're no longer
capitalize
chasing
on the
views,
opportunity.
should you say? No more chasing views.
So when I started Otter, my agency in 2017, you could exist with a fucking Canon 7D that was jailbroken via an SD card, and clients would come to you and you would just get work, because that's how the industry was. God, 9 years ago. Yeah, damn, 9 years ago. And whereas now everyone wants to be a videographer, there is a lot of work out there. Cameras are so much more advanced than they used to be. Yeah. Like what you can do now with an FX3 or like a C50 in this day and age compared to back then is tremendous. Like you'd need a team 10 years ago to have to do that, whereas now you can do that with a single camera. And the point is like, I think like one of the reasons why I started coaching is I had a huge insecurity in some of the years in my agency where we had very large videography retainers, and I'm talking 5-figure a month retainers. And we were delivering like a lot of video content for sales, for marketing, for fulfillment, for everything, for these types of companies, these corporate companies. And the problem is that there was no tangible result that I was delivering on. It was just tick box exercise of content creation. Don't get me wrong, it looked shit hot. We shot everything on a C70, sometimes reds. It looked great, but it wasn't fucking doing anything. And I used to lose sleep at night thinking, man, if that client comes to me or calls me tomorrow and says, hi, Ben, we're going to sack the retainer off because we're not getting results from it, I wouldn't have a single good answer to give them. And that's really where that feeling stems from. So what I did at that point is I went gung-ho into ads, and to understand deeply, how can I avoid that happening? How can I never have to feel that way again? I have to put paid media and build campaigns around my video content so it actually delivers the results for these businesses. And when I did that, I saw the results off the back of it. I was able to charge 5 times as much, and I would sleep way better at night because the social proof I started stacking made me feel more confident as a creator, as a videographer, but also it made marketing and sales piss easy because people will just buy from me because they've seen the results, rather than me saying, yeah, it's going to be 4K for these videos. Cool. What are they going to do? Oh, your website's going to look sick, man. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to get more leads from it. I don't know. We'll leave the traffic up to you. Like, I always just felt short when I was pitching. And that's really why I transitioned into the ad side. And a lot of people, I think, a lot of people are unwilling to learn ads and to position themselves as more of a video marketer. And you absolutely don't have to. You don't have to. You can go down the traditional role of big sets and all that sort of stuff, but just understand that's getting a lot harder to do. And I wouldn't be surprised if you go down that route. Don't be surprised if you end up being more broke than you are now.
Yeah, I actually told JB that the other day, that people who are aspiring to be like DPs and cinematographers and all these different type of positions on big sets, it's like you just said, it's really going downhill at this point. So that is a very good point, that if that's your route and that's where you really lie, I mean, I can't tell nobody don't do their passion. Of course, follow your passion, but at the end of the day, you got to realize that we all need to succeed. And if that's not where the success is, maybe you need to look at another route.
For me, I think what is a cleaner route is like, if you go down that, I know people, I know DPs, I know CDs who've gone down that route and they're wildly successful and they would disagree with the shit that I'm saying. Okay. But I don't think it's going to be that cushy forever. Like with AI and stuff coming in, the automation coming in, I think it's on a timer. personally. So I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, especially as a fucking dad, to do that, right?
Mhm.
And I think the more the automation comes in, the more they, like, you look at big sets 10, 15 years ago compared to now, they have condensed tremendously. Lighting has improved, sensors have improved, automation have improved. Like, if you had shown a guy 20 years ago fucking wireless focus pulling, he'd be like, what? Right? Everything is improving at such a rapid rate. And it just seems to me, man, that I'm not saying there's not a market for it anymore, but it seems to be more of a shrinking market on that side compared to marketing.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I know a lot of people over here thinking probably like this. Does this cause someone to change their niche? Because I know if you're targeting music videos, sometimes their content side is what they're looking for. So are you saying, hey, target more businesses, or are you saying this is universal?
Well, it depends what your goal is. The goal is to make more money.
Wait, okay, so I'll speak for someone else. So let's say someone is struggling to make money and essentially, yes, we need money.
If you're struggling to make money, but you're busy, the first thing you need to do is look at your clientele. Because if you're busy and you're not making enough money, it's because you're undercharging. Why are you undercharging? Either you'll have lack of confidence, or the clientele you're serving cannot afford more services. So you're in a market or a niche that is pretty shit. I think like making music videos, doing shoots for models, all that sort of stuff, that's how every videographer comes up. But if you really want to stack real cash, you need to exit that market fucking quickly, exit doing fucking shoots for barbers, and actually start generating results through video for larger businesses. People who will pay you a lot of money. The more expensive of a problem you solve, the more money you can make.
Yep. I actually 100% agree with you on that. I tell a lot of videographers myself, when it's just on the run out here in the streets and I have a simple conversation with them, that's like almost the first thing I say after they tell me, hey, I do music videos. It's like, yo, I know that these music videos that you're shooting at 50 max, probably 250 on a good day. If you get 500, we might be on to something, but it's not the answer. It's like, it's feel like you're chasing this great video that's going to expire in the next probably 3 months, if someone even go listen to that person's music. So I'm definitely with you on that. I 100% agree. Targeting businesses are most definitely the answer, especially ones that can benefit off the value of that rate of return.
I think if if there's someone listening right now who's listening to what I'm saying and is getting a bit apprehensive or getting a bit of anxiety and they love shooting music videos, fuck what I think. Go and shoot music videos. If that's what you like doing, that's what you love doing.
We got Lyrical Lemonade out here. We got all these successful brands that did music videos. Now we do have successful brands, but their approach is different.
You can absolutely make it work. It's just you're choosing the harder path. But if this is where you're if you wake up every day thinking, man, I can't wait to shoot another music video, fucking go for it.
Yeah, because that's your passion, obviously.
Exactly. My passion is just to grow successful businesses and make money, not so much around the niche, and to help people and help my clients. That's really all I care about. If I wanted to make loads of money, I would have moved to fucking London and become a fucking trader.
Yeah. That's funny that you say that, because that actually is the fine line between someone that cares about the business side, someone that cares about the hobby and the sport. That is the fine line between it. It's like, okay, do we care about money or do we just want to shoot? Because me and Cody actually personally met people where it was a simple paid opportunity and we got declined due to the fact that they wasn't here for the money. They're here because we got a camera and I just love shooting. So that is the fine line between a lot of people. And I think that is kind of a confusion as well. When you out here scrolling on social media, you see this nice glamorous video. That person might not even be the person that even want clients or has clients. Simply, they are on social media making all this great content that, to a person that's trying to get money, it has nothing to do with you. This is just for the looks. So
yeah, I think people would have a much easier time understanding how to make a more successful video company if they realize that the videography they sell is the product and it's very secondary to them. It's just the tool they use to help someone achieve a result. And for someone who's charging, paying $150 for a music video, you are using video to make someone a pretty video for their music video. Right, that's have a drink every time I say video, but you understand the gist there. When it comes to large scale businesses, it's like, cool, I'm going to help this business grow, help them improve brand equity and brand leverage, help them make more sales using my camera. The camera is the tool that you use to appease whatever problem they are having. Right? Yeah, it's everyone thinks everyone thinks oh, I'm a videographer first. Nah, man. Like, you are a marketer. You are a person who solves problems and gets paid to solve the problems. You just happen to use video as the tool to do that. You know what I mean? It's like,
No, you're right.
it's like, this, if you imagine like someone who's like, instead of selling yourself as a fisherman, it's like, cool, I feed my entire village every day and I just use fishing to do it. Right? Like, I help solve problems and I just use video to do it. You don't
like
say
that.
I'm a fisherman. It's like, it's a tool. Like, this is a tool. And that's how it should be used. It's not like a whole, I think people get wrapped up in this personality trait and like they put like videographer or they put like entrepreneur in their Instagram bio and think, cool, I'm the shit.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just level 1 of the game. Okay. You know what I mean? It's like, you need to keep increasing you need to keep increasing the value that you can offer. And that's really how you start ascending into the different levels.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually
Yeah,
like that
correct.
because I hate using when someone say, "Hey, what do you do?" And part of it, like, it's like you naturally say videographer. I will say it's like, because that is a learning curve. It's like, all right, to stop saying you're a videographer and start saying I'm a digital marketer and all these different glamorous titles that can help you add more value and make you bigger than what it is, which you should be aiming for. That is like a learning curve in my opinion, because I had to catch myself not too long ago, actually, accidentally saying I'm a videographer when I know I can add more value than just videographer.
Right.
Because once you say that title, that's what you are.
You're cheapening yourself.
Yeah. The way you present yourself, when someone asks, "Hey, what do you do?" That is what they're going to see. They're not going to just think of everything that you do and it's going to pop up because you said I'm a videographer. Oh, he's a videographer, so he can do my ads. No, they're not thinking like that. You have to say, I do digital marketing. I help businesses do this. Like, you have to actually break it down to someone. Don't give them a whole paragraph. If you could do it in like one sentence and just explain someone who you are, what you do, I think that's a home run. So you hit the nail on that one.
There's a great example of this. I forgot his name, of a videographer in London who's on LinkedIn, and he was doing the same thing, calling himself a videographer for ages. And then he niched down into tech. And when someone asked him what he does, he would say, I help tech companies sell more tech. Didn't even fucking mention video, right? And he obviously in the back end, what he would do is he would make VSLs, landing pages, and 8% of his role was making video content that made complicated tech topics sound simple, because they were selling tech from B2B to B2C. This guy made fucking bank doing that. And it didn't once mention video. It was just, this is the problem I solve, and this is the market I solve it for. It's irrelevant how I solve it. Like, tech company, like most companies, dude, like if you walk into a room with a business owner and you say like, look, I can get you 10, 20, 30 more leads. I can double your revenue. They don't care how you do it. They just want you to do it. So why are you leading with a strategy? Just lead with the result.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so let's talk about the people that wants to learn how to, because I know there's no such thing as a guaranteed result, and
Nothing's guaranteed.
You can hire the chances, because I'm trying to think for everyone that's going to think like this. Because a lot of people are going to say, well, you can't guarantee results. How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? Or how can you promise something? And what if I don't deliver? And then that person becomes to get discouraged about it. What is your advice to them? Other than confidence, I know it's confidence, but get them like some tangible steps.
I think Goggins put this really well on the Hormozy podcast or the Rogan podcast. And he's like, just build such insatiable stack of proof that you are who you say you are, that no one can ever doubt it. Yeah. So you just need to build enough evidence that people can't really question what you're saying. I've had people like recently say, dude, do you offer a guarantee at all? And I'm like, yeah, man, are you going to work 16 hours a day and give me an update on what you're doing every single day and record yourself working so I know you're doing it? He's like, what? I was like, yeah, exactly. Like, I can't force you to do the work. I can give you the strategy. I can coach you. I can't force you to do the work. You think PTs offer a fucking guarantee to turn fat Sally into a 6-pack in 6 months? Hell no, because he can't control if Sally's going to get a pack of donuts from Walmart on the way home from the gym. He has no control. You know what I mean? So it's the exact same with this. It's like when it comes to business and marketing, you can do your absolute best. And this is what I tell my guys who like sometimes get like a little bit of anxiety, like, oh, I really hope I can get this client the result or whatever it is. And I'm like, as long as your head hits the pillow at night, knowing you did everything you possibly could to help that client, you are doing more than 95% of the fucking market. Like marketing, dude. I don't know if you guys have ever worked with corporate marketing. They haven't got a fucking clue what they are doing.
Yeah.
I work with so many marketing departments in corporate, and they will just be doing shit because someone else from above has told them to do stuff. And none of these guys have any idea what they are doing. They are just hiring videographers or agencies to do shit that doesn't even get a result. The amount of times I would sit in shareholder meetings and they were like, cool, we want to be making a video that's going to attract more Gen Zs or millennials to X, Y, and Z. I can't say too many specifics, but we want to like attract more millennials or Gen Z to this like industry. And then they would come up with the most boomer script imaginable. And I'm like, this is not going to resonate with me. This is going to resonate with you. And this is how most marketing systems are working. They're not even thinking like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes 100% sense.
You don't have to be you don't have to be Alex Hormozy at marketing for this. Nice cat.
Yeah.
You don't have to be Alex Hormozy at marketing for this to work. You just need to be like okay, like semi good, have a good strategy, and just fucking go to town. That's all you have to like. Most marketers, dude, it's like most videographers.
Yeah.
They don't really know the difference between amateur and ISO.
I had a whole meeting one time and I see exactly what you saw. They don't know what they're talking about. 9 times 10, they're at the age of 50 and above.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just there filling in gaps because they need something consistent. And they have got that company to believe that they are the answer. And then when you go fill out all the things that they already did, it ends up not being the answer, but they're putting up with it because that's the best thing that they can find or want to have because it's cheap, affordable, and these are the people that wants to show up every day. That's all they see, and they don't really see past that a lot of the time. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's really funny. Like I've had a few stories from clients who are talking to like some of their clients, and they've paid like $4 or $5K a month for a marketing agency to come in, run ads for them. And all these marketing agencies are doing are just making fucking Canva graphics, still images, and putting ad spend behind them. And it's working, right? And then you plug in like actually well shot, decent videography content, the whole thing blows up. Because like 90% of marketing agencies or marketing companies do not have access to high-level creative. And they don't want to pay for it. So they just run shitty static images, shitty static like ads. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So if you just introduce high-quality creative, the whole game changes, you know? And people are paying $4,000 a month for this. Pounds. So like we're talking $6K US.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucked.
Yep.
That's crazy. So give me a breakdown of what a good ad looks like.
Dialed in messaging, target audience, pain points, desires, talk about the psychographics of the person, what they're going through rather than demographics. Advertising, especially on Meta for a long time, was all about demographics. Oh, you know, if you wanted to like target, you know, young mums, you'd be like, cool, maybe like white women, Minnesota, 25 to 35, interested in kids. Like you go through the demographics like that. Whereas now what you do is you go after the psychographics. Okay. Like what is a stay-at-home mum thinking about at 2 a.m? Oh, I've got a summer holiday in 3 months and I can't wear that dress because I put on too much weight after the baby or whatever it is. You talk about the psychographics, what they're thinking and feeling in the advertisement. That is the messaging that fucking converts the most because you're speaking to their soul rather than a description of who they are on paper. Does that make sense? Like if someone wanted to run an ad to me, they would be like, hey, Ben, hey, are you a dad who used to love playing World of Warcraft and drinking beer? If that's the case, you should watch this ad. I would be fucking dialed in. It's not a 6'1" Ben with like a haircut and a hoodie. You know what I mean? Like the whole marketing thing is changed towards psychographics now. And then you just mix that with good creative and the whole thing just like, it just blows up.
So that's fun fact. Video games is like your piece.
It was for a long time. It was for a long time. And then I don't know if you guys ever played that game, but like it's too enveloping. And then yeah, man, like as a dad and a business owner, there is no time in my life for gaming anymore, really. Sadly. But maybe
you know us Americans, we're just waiting on GTA 6. That's all we care about.
I've already told the missus when it comes out, I'm having 2 weeks to play it.
Time is gonna be free all of a sudden.
yeah, that's it.
Okay, but now that was a quick sidebar. Okay, I think the information that you have specifically is super valuable to this industry, due to the fact that we literally have calls like this all the time, and one of the biggest things we know and we hear is creators need help, and they don't know where to go. And I'm sure they heard it 1,000 times as ads, but you could tell someone what it is. But you also got to tell someone how it is. And sometimes you can tell somebody what, how, when, where, and what to do and why to do it. And they'll sit right there and not do it. So, hey, you still get different versions of it. Some people are complacent of where they are. And I would encourage creators to put your best foot forward if that's the result that you want.
I think like whenever I've made like huge quantum leaps in my business or my life, it's because I've hired a coach or a mentor that can fix a very specific problem for me. So if I wanted to get way better at marketing, I went out and I hired a coach who taught me way more marketing, messaging, dialing, and ads. When I wanted to get better at high ticket sales, I hired a sales coach from Tampa to teach me sales. When I wanted to learn better email marketing or long form, I hired a guy in London to teach me those things. And I learned way faster and probably saved a lot of money in the long run. And that's really that's really what's helped me. And I say this as much as I can in my long form content. Like, if you are struggling, hire someone who can help you. Do your research, look at their client results, not their marketing, look at their client results and hire them. If you're listening to this and you think, cool, Ben's saying everything that I like, but I'm not sure I vibe with him, don't fucking hire me. But like, go and find someone who can help you get what you want and see who you vibe with. If you look at their content and it's all just fucking bullshit ChatGPT scripts, don't hire them. If their captions are just ChatGPT scripts, don't hire them. There are some great coaches out there, UK and US, who will be able to help you get what you want. Or you can just stay stuck not learning. Like, if you have less than 10 grand to your name, you should be investing in yourself, not the stock market, not fucking cryptocurrency, not real estate. Just invest in yourself. Learn the skills. Whenever I've invested in mentors and learned skills, those have been by far the biggest trajectories of money making I've ever done. And once you learn the skills, this is the nice thing. They get saved and you get in your head. So you always have them, right? And it's like, I would just advise anyone to hire someone to help them. Like a business would hire a videographer to help them. You see it like, here's a great example. A business owner who's like, yeah, you know what, JB, I appreciate the quote, but I think what we're going to do is like, we're just going to record the brand story video on the iPhone and we're going to give that a go. Right. And you're like, okay. And then you see the video and it's shit. Right. And it's like, that's the same as about not hiring a coach or a mentor who has been where you are 10 years ago. They can get you to the result so much faster. And in 95% of the cases, so much cheaper too.
Yep.
But it's
So
scary.
what I'm hearing from you is, Ben, that you have to spend money to make money, because what we've seen a lot is the mindset of people out here thinking that it's just going to fall in their lap, that clients are going to just call them, or big wigs or commercials. Like, they don't understand that you have to invest in yourself. And I'm not just talking about $10, $20, $30. I'm talking about hundreds, even potentially thousands of dollars. You're going to have to invest yourself over the year of your career to actually build yourself up to where you want to be. Very rarely do you get lucky and overnight it just happens. That can happen, but I wouldn't bank on it.
Yeah, like if I look at all my clients who are doing between like 20 and 50K a month, the pattern that comes across the most is obviously they have a strong mindset and belief system, but they've also invested plus like 5 figures plus into themselves. Like, if you want to be making 10, 20, 30K a month, do not expect a 500 course to do that for you, a $500 course to do that for you. You're going to have to invest thousands, because if that person can actually help you achieve that goal, why the fuck would they charge 500? They wouldn't. That wouldn't make any sense. Okay. So like, that's really how you have to look at things. If you're like, it's investing in these things of like $10 or $500 and you're getting mediocre results, was because it has a mediocre price point. You know what I mean? It's like, that's where you have to look at it. And like, I'm not saying there aren't people out there who are charging way more than they fucking should. That's why you look at the social proof. But like, yes, you have to spend money to make money 100%. You can't expect to go in the stock market, put £10 down and get 100 grand out. Like, it's just not likely. But if you go into the stock market with like 50K and you know what the fuck you're doing, you could turn that into 100K in a year's time. That's logical. That's plausible. See what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, I would reverse engineer what your revenue goal is. So if you want to hit 10K a month this year, it's like, cool, I'm at 3K a month now. I want to triple how much I make, right? Basically, or 3.3x what I make. What money can I set aside? What financing can I get? What credit can I get to hire someone who can help me do that in 6 to 12 months, if not sooner? Guys, in the States, as a video marketer, you can hit 20, 30, 40K a month so fucking quickly because you have things like a firm over there. You can get clients to finance the marketing to you. It is ridiculous. You are playing video marketing on easy mode. When you look at any of the video coaches in that space over in the US and they have client results where they've gone crazy high, 85% of that videographer's sales have been through financing, have been through a firm. Whereas if you look at the results over here in the UK and EU, if that video coach's clients have insane results, 80 to 90% of that isn't financing. That's legit cash because the model's different here. So if you're in the US and you're watching this, you are sat on a gold mine as a videographer because you can learn ads, you can print cash, and you can fucking finance all of your prospects' finances. So if they can't afford it, it doesn't fucking matter. As long as they've got 600 credit, they can buy. They can do a 10K PIF online straight away, and you get most of that cash yourself. It's insanity.
That's great insight right there. before we move on off this topic of mentorship, we ran into some things in this journey, and we hear that mentor word every week. Everybody got a mentor. Everybody got somebody. Okay, so
Guru.
I don't even want to say that. I don't even want to say that, unfortunately, because I feel like it's a word that's being slung around. Okay, for example, not gonna put no names out. We have a videographer. We have a guy over there spinning a 360 booth. That's my mentor. We got a guy over here that does one thing basically and the other does another. And it's like they're following each other, but none of them do the same exact thing to get the maximum result. And another piece to it, what are some guidelines you would say with a mentor? Should you do everything this person says? Should all your life decisions be banked on this mentor? Or should you be just getting some feedback and taking it in and taking pieces out of it? Like, basically, what is the structure of having a mentor, and how should you move in your daily walks with having one?
If you don't trust your mentor 100% on the journey they're trying to help you with, you shouldn't have hired them in the first place. Like, if I tell my clients to do something and they're like, oh, I don't trust that to do it, I'll be like, why the fuck have you hired me then? Right? Like, and like, I've had those wobbles with my own mentors. I'm like, I'm not really sure this is working. What should I do? I'm kind of having doubts in the system, X, Y, and Z. And they come back like, dude, like, trust the process, just stay with it. And 3 months later, after staying with it, I got the result that I wanted. And I just had to be more patient. The clients that do so well with me are the ones who just go all in. They don't ask questions. They just implement straight away. And they're the ones that can scale to really high numbers really quickly and have an abundance amount of business. If you're sat there arguing with your mentor, you have already lost, or you've hired the wrong fucking person.
Yeah.
Like, when you ask them a question, they should be answering in a way that makes complete sense to you so you can move forward. That's really what they're there to unblock. And, you know, to go back to your first point about like the whole coaching coaches, or like everyone's a coach, everyone's a mentor, just look at credentials. Like, if you balanced everyone down via credentials, there are a lot less decent coaches than you realize. And it just takes a little bit of through thought before you hire someone to think about who they are and what they do. You can hire a shitty coach for like a couple of £100, a couple of $100, right? But then don't be surprised if you get shitty results. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or none at all.
Or none at all, right? I would much rather risk $6,000 on a sick mentor than risk $500 on a shit one. And you might think, wow, Ben, that's like fucking 12 times more money. Yeah, but the result is 12 times more likely.
You should definitely 100% trust your mentor. Of course, that's why you hired them. But should you trust in them making, I guess, like JB was saying, every single decision in your business when it comes to
go deeper on that code as far as
so essentially, like, if it comes to you choosing who you wanted to partner with, or who you wanted to work with, or who this situation, that situation, you know, should you listen to your mentor, or is it a case where you should at least say, hey, I'm gonna bring my mentor in because I'm not exactly sure what your capability is here, what you're offering. So when I bring in my mentor, then he can advise me, and maybe we could go deeper there. But you know, how should you play it?
I don't really like tell my guys they need to bring me into sales calls or sales meetings. I just let them run it themselves and just give them the tools to do so. I guess a good example of this would be like, you know, clients all the time bring me scenarios of like, oh, I've got this going on. What do you think I should do? How should I play this? I will give them my answer and say, it's your call. Like, if I was in your situation, this is what I would do. I'm not going to sit there and say, this is what you have to do, or fuck you. Like, yeah. I'm not running that kind of fucking program, dude. Like, they're their own people. I give them what they need to do. I nurture them and help them. I'm there to give them advice on what I would do. And most of the time I have a story on exactly why I did what they're thinking of doing and why it fucked me in the ass, right? And so, like, yeah, man, like, I've got a client the other day who was like, oh, I'm thinking of trying this completely other marketing strategy compared to what you're teaching us. I really want to give it a go. And I'm like, dude, abso-fucking-lutely, go out there, test, feedback, let me know how it goes. I don't think it's going to work because of X, Y, and Z reason. He comes back 2 months later, was like, cool, I tried it, doesn't fucking work because of all the reasons you said. And if I just said to him, don't fucking do it, you're an idiot, he never would have had full conviction that it wasn't the right thing. Whereas now he's come back and he's like, okay, Ben, you were right, I should have listened to you. The conviction's now way higher. You have to let them fucking breathe in their own space and do their own things. But fundamentally, when someone pays you thousands of pounds, thousands of dollars, if they're going to like give you, like, my program's $6,000 US currently, right? But the prices are going up. If someone said to me, after giving me that much money, hey man, I don't believe in your system or anything like that, I don't think this is going to work, I just refund them on the spot. It's never happened to me, but that's the first thing I would do. I don't want to work with someone like that. That just sounds like a fucking nightmare client. Imagine a videographer, imagine a business paid you $6,000 to come and shoot something. You turn up kitted, ready to go. And like, yeah, man, can you just film everything on an iPhone for me today? You'd be like, what? No, they're going to get the worst result. Yeah, I know, but like, I don't really believe that video cameras are better than phones. What? Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's the same logic.
Yeah. I can accept that. I can take that answer because if I can summarize it, you're basically saying you still would rather someone try it than not try it to get burnt themselves. Sometimes you got to let the kid touch the stove to never touch that stove again.
Bingo.
So I get that logic.
I'll still tell the kid the stove is hot as fuck and it's going to hurt.
Yeah. But if you go do it, hey, I told you.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not like, oh, dude, that stove's sick. Touch that ASAP. I'm not doing that.
That's a great example of basically saying, okay, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about it, but it won't hurt to try because who are we all to say something's not gonna 100% work?
Everything works, dude.
Yeah.
Every marketing strategy works. It's just you're going to find the one that works best for you.
Yeah. So in other words, get your mentor, take in the information your mentor is saying, but if you're someone that just has to try it because you need to know for yourself, go ahead and try it, but just don't be surprised if the result is a certain result or if it does the opposite because of maybe you have the wrong mentor.
Yeah, and I think like it's a really good point you bring up because this is more of what I see in people is they'll look at those things of like, wow, shiny object, I should try that as well. Whereas if most people just stuck to a common theme, a common system for 3 to 6 months, they'll get the result they want. The reason they haven't got the result is because they're not sticking to stuff long enough to get the result from it. So it's like, is it a form of self-sabotage? Is it a form of shiny object syndrome? And that's what you have to identify. If you can just get rid of it, you'll be sick.
Is there any last points, advice that you would give to someone that can benefit from your program or to a beginner and intermediate learner in this field? Because I know you can not only target beginner and intermediate learners, you can also talk to experts. Because I know a lot of people that have been doing this for 10 years probably haven't even done an ad or understand this side. They're still out there promoting these video packages and just hoping on posting every day is the answer. Tell us how you can find us and find you and also give us some advice.
My advice to you would be if posting video content on social media worked, every videographer in the world would be minted. Doesn't work. That's why and so selling that as a product to businesses, you're going to get the same result. So don't be an idiot. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself to other videographers. Everyone's on their own journey. Some guy just might have had better lighting that day. The sun might have been shining slightly differently and got a way nicer effect on the fucking screen. Don't worry about it. Don't fuck yourself. Don't self-sabotage yourself. If you own a digital camera, if you understand basic lighting, aperture, ISO, all that sort of stuff, you are better than 95% of the planet at making content. Don't compare yourself to the other 4% that have been in the game for 15 fucking years. If I had done that, I wouldn't have grown to where I got to. Don't be so hard on yourself. Love the craft. Enjoy it. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is meant to be fun. It doesn't have to be fucking horrible. It doesn't have to be shit. It is a choice. And I guess I would advise you to find God in your own way or whatever spirituality that you're into. But as I'm getting older, as I'm becoming a dad, as a family man, as a successful entrepreneur, those sorts of things in your life is what's going to help you stay grounded and happy.
So tell the world how we can find you.
Sure, man. So my @ is @TheBenLawton at Instagram. Same on YouTube. Those are the two platforms that I'm on. If you'd like the podcast, DM me, tell me what you thought. If you hated it, DM me, tell me what you thought as well.
So guys, today you've learned that it's more than videography. It's more than buying a camera, telling the world you can do videography, because if you do that, you'll end up shooting barbers, music videos, cars, flowers, grass, and all that other stuff in the world. Understand that you need to expand your skill sets, like learning ads or simply becoming an asset and adding more value to all of these people in the world that can use your services at a high ticket value. So we want to thank Mr. Ben for joining this call today. Appreciate you, man. I know you have a lot of things on your agenda and you chose this podcast. So salute you to that. And for everyone that's watching, go ahead and give us a follow, like, subscribe, or if you're in the community, go ahead and check out Ben, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.